Hello, everybody. How are we doing? Can everyone hear me okay? Good. Nice. Okay, that song, I texted Emma, who's playing the music. I was like, please play that song right at 2 p.m. as everyone's coming in. It's my current hyperfixation song. It's so good. I know I saw Sydney like bopping around to it. I was like over here doing the same. I can't stop playing it. Like, I get these hyperfixation things, whether it's meals, songs, I don't even know ingredients, and I just go with it. And it's just like on repeat. I flew home from LA the other day, and the song that was just playing for a solid hour long, it was just like repeat, 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 like as we were landing, like the whole hour of like descending. I'm like, everyone, it's like when I go on a flight, my phases of the flight are breath work as we take off because I get anxious for no reason, even though I intuitively know I'm fine. And then and then once we're up, I'm like, okay, it's like I have a movie playing that I'm like while I work. It's like movie in the background while I like do work. And then an hour before we land, I'm like, okay, no one talk to me. I'm in my like little manifesting era. So I'm like playing the same song on repeat over and over again. And it just happened to be that song this time. The song's called Shake It to the Max by, there's a lot of different versions. Like there's that version, there's the one on TikTok, it goes, if you're done with your ex, move on to the next. If you're done with your ex, you know that one? I'm not a singer for a reason. But there's like that version of it. There's a bunch of different versions, but that one's my favorite. Me and Emma have been like bopping it all week long. Hi, I'm so excited to have everyone here. Almost 300 people at this point have signed up for our free workshop, and we just talked about it like 2 hours ago. So that's really exciting and fun. Thank you guys for coming to spend time with me in the middle of your day today, even though it was super last minute. I love doing these like random pop-up free workshops. It's like I'll get an idea and I'm like, we've got to talk about it right now. So I'm like, team, we've got to have it today. So shout out to my team too for always working with me with that. Today, I wanted to dive in to some. I am recording. Am I not recording this? Am I recording that? It says I'm recording. Up here, I'm recording too. I'm recording. Yes. Okay, cool. Yes. We're recording on Zoom and I have a camera going up here too. So we're definitely getting it recorded for you. My team, how long is this recording available? Until it just is available to just membership only? 2 days. Okay, so you'll have 2 days to 48 hours for this recording for yourself, and then it will live in the Unfuck Yourself membership. So that's $50 a month, and it will live in there after that. Of course. Okay, so today we are diving into what people get wrong about self-love. Let me know in the comments what is self-love? Like what do we think right now self-love is? I want to hear. I want to hear your thoughts about it. Putting yourself first, love it. Totally putting yourself first. Prioritizing you, prioritizing yourself. Oh, they're coming in fast. Putting the oxygen mask on yourself first. Yes. Self-acceptance and honoring yourself. Having boundaries. Love it, love it, love it. Doing what is best for you, even when it's not easy. Like brushing your teeth even when you're exhausted. Literally, yes. Half the time, like pulling myself out of bed at night to like go brush my teeth. Honoring your needs and wants. Good. Loving all of you, even the positives and negatives. That's love that. That would be a categorized under self-image, but that is the exact self-image definition. Good. Respecting yourself. Great. Okay. Yes. So doing things that fill up your tank. I love it. Okay, great. So, self-love, you guys are spot on, is the ability to prioritize yourself and put yourself first over everyone else. Now, what are some things that we think that looks like? Let me know in the comments. What are some things we think that looks like and entails in our daily life? Speaking up for your needs, not working when sick, eating properly, praising ourselves, self-care. taking time for movement, saying no when we need to, getting enough sleep, water, not people pleasing, journaling, keeping hobbies, doing things for yourself before working to help others, listening to your own intuition, taking care of your mind and body before tending to others, not self-sacrificing or putting things before yourself when there's things you like. Starting your day out with spacing time for yourself, saying nice things to ourselves, boundaries. Amazing. All of these are 1000% aspects of self love. There's one thing that isn't talked about that is also self love that I want to dive into today. So, yes, self love is the self care. It's the scheduling the massages for sure. It's the putting yourself first in the morning with your ingredients or your tools or whatever it is that you're working on. It is definitely having boundaries for yourself, which we're going to talk about today because the way most people tell you to have boundaries is probably not the highest source aligned way to express and have boundaries. So, we're going to dive into communication around boundaries today and the source aligned way of communicating them, also the way to communicate them that's going to actually get you what you want and not make you like the scary person who's like kind of has a stick up their ass. You know what I mean? We all know that person. Who knows that person who like they have a lot of boundaries, but they're like verbally telling you their boundaries, and then you're kind of like walking on eggshells around them. Yeah, we're gonna go over like how to have boundaries just in our energy without having to be that person with the stick up our ass who like is kind of scary to be around. Um, because I know for me, I've had like the thing of like, okay, I don't want to be a pushover, but I also don't want to be that person who's a stick up their ass who people are afraid of. Like, how do I meet in the middle? And we're gonna kind of talk about that today too. But there's one thing that all of us miss, and I missed for so many fucking years to the point like Al said this other day, but he goes, my reflections had reflections. I'm like, oh my God, yeah. Like my reflections had reflections with how much I missed this self-love piece over the years. And it's so important. And all these things you guys said spot on what self-love is, but we all missed this one today, just like I did for many, many, many years. But luckily, you guys are going to grasp this way quicker than I ever did because you're way more elite than I was. So, and I want this for you so bad so you don't have to go through the years of not understanding this that I went through. But there is a piece of self-love where it's prioritizing yourself and putting yourself first, but every second of the day, in every single conversation, in every single thing, it's not let me put myself in the first in the morning so that I can like go do this thing for other people later. It's how can I go do this thing for other people and put myself first in the act of doing that thing. So I gave an example of it today. You didn't even probably realize. The first thing I said in the chat was me putting myself first. I said, oh gosh, oh gosh, we're already here we go. We have a lot of chats so far. I said, what are you excited for about the workshop today? That was me putting myself first before I gave something, right? I want to hear what you're excited about. And that lights me up and that makes me excited. I'm already excited, but it adds on an extra layer of excitement. That was me putting myself first in this moment where an outside eye might think, oh, she's doing a free workshop. A lot of people in this space don't want to do things for free, right? Because they're not seeing how it's also benefiting them. So putting yourself first is in every situation, all of the time, no matter what you're in, how can I give to myself right before I go give to this person, other people, a group, whatever it is. And that's what people miss. And that's why your self-love, even though maybe you're scheduling the massages, even though maybe you're doing your ingredients in the morning, that's why self-love might still clock intuitively if you're using your intuition to clock it, or it might still feel, if you're not using your intuition, might still feel low or be low. Because if we are not going into situations and thinking, what do I want to get out of this? We lose. So, for example, anyone who's been to dinner with me knows this, and my team knows this when we've been to team dinners. They're probably so annoyed of this by now. But if you go to a dinner with me, I 1000% 10 out of 10 times I'm chat GPTing questions and everyone's going around and answering questions. You know why? Because if I have intuition's great. What comes with that is the other side of you hear everyone's thoughts all the time. Okay. So, pros and cons of intuition. So, I'm very, very sensitive to everyone's thoughts. And I'm sure who here can relate. Meaning, in social settings, you can feel if someone doesn't feel as heard as this person. You can feel if someone feels like they're getting paid less attention to than this person over here. They start having thoughts about it. Then you start worrying about them over here. Boy, you're trying to pay this attention to this person over here. You don't want this person to feel bad for taking up space. But you also want this person to feel bad for not talking. And I start to lose my motherfucking mind in social settings. My old solution was don't be social and just be a hermit inside. Well, that's not how you live life. So I decided, let me take control of any social setting because I love to be social and I love to hear people's stories. I love to ask questions. I love to share. I love tools to get anyone in a room liking each other more and closer. So anytime you're at dinner with me, I'm pulling out ChatGPT and I'm going, give me questions to ask my team right now to bring us all closer and make everyone love each other more. And it gives you like a list of vulnerable questions. Okay. And then I go around and no one's I hate when people are like, when you're at dinner and there's like a conversation over here and a conversation over here and someone not talking over here. I get anxious about it. I don't like it because I can hear everyone's fucking thoughts. So, me putting myself first in a dinner setting is me deciding what I want to get out of it before I even go. How many times have you gone into a conversation and raw dogged the fucking conversation? Whether it's like dinner with friends, whether it's your bachelorette party, whether it's your fucking wedding, whether it's your a conversation with your partner, whether it's whatever it is, a class. I always go in not with the physical thing of what I want to talk about, just how I want it to go and how I want to feel after. Okay, so even here, I raw dog everything I teach. I'm like, oh, this is a subject. Let's see what the fuck comes out of my mouth today. So I don't have a plan ever. So like literally ever. So, but I have a intention of what I want to get out of it and how I want to feel after. And that then leads what I am going to do, talk about, say, ask, whatever. So I go into a dinner, like with my team, I'm thinking of the time before we did the glow retreat in Arizona. We all went to dinner the night before. And Michaela, you came in that day after, right? Yeah, you didn't make it to dinner that night. Okay. So most of us who were at the glow retreat went to dinner the night before. And I was like, okay, I want everyone, I don't want to feel anxious about hearing everyone's thoughts. Not that my team has bad thoughts, but it's natural to have certain thoughts come up in social settings based upon like past traumas in high school or whatever it is. Jonna cried at dinner. She's not lying. So So it worked. So it's normal for people to just have thoughts and nothing's wrong with them. I can just hear them. And I don't personally, I then feel responsible for everyone. And I don't like feeling responsible for everyone. So I'm like, okay, how can everyone feel heard and loved? ChatGPT fucking questions and everyone goes around and individually answers. And as that person's answering, everybody's listening. Everyone's included. No one feels left out. Was anyone in here at my New York City meetup, the one we did for free? I literally, same thing. I was like, I don't want to have anyone feel left out. So I'm like, we're all going to stand in a fucking circle. And I didn't chat GPT questions. I just threw them off the top of my head. But I went around. Mackenzie was, yes, Mackenzie was there. So remember, I went around and I just asked the same question to everyone and everyone got to listen and I shared mine too. It's the best thing ever. So that is me putting myself first, but also everyone else gets a great benefit too. So self-love is prioritizing yourself so that you can give everyone a 10 out of 10 benefit as well. It's not about like the selfish thing of like, I'm going to do what I want to do and like, screw you guys. It's how can I fill up my gas tank so I'm at 100% so I can bring out everyone else up to 100%. So what people get wrong is either they don't do that at all. They go into situations and don't have a plan of what they want to get out of it, right? For example, in my team dinner before the glow formula, I wanted everyone to come out of it feeling like they all loved each other a little more and they all felt a little bit closer. And that's what happened when you share things, when you share vulnerable things, everybody fucking loves you more. Then didn't we go around and test our energetic age too? I think I went around and gave everyone their energetic age, like just fun plans and fun things to do. So That one maybe wasn't as fun for some people. But it's helpful because then you can get down to a lower number. Anyway, so what people do is they either go into a setting like that with no plan, okay? And then they let the dinner control them. Like I would have then not been putting myself first, and I would have been like, my thoughts would have been so worried about other people. If my thoughts the whole dinner are so worried about other people, am I putting myself first? No. Why? Why am I not putting myself first? Let me know in the chat. Totally abandoning myself. Yeah, because I'm too worried about everything, everyone else. Exactly. We have to put our people pleasing. Yep. So consume with everyone else. Exactly. Exactly. We have to, with our thoughts, we have to put ourselves first. How many times a day are you not putting yourself first with your thoughts? So many problems. I mean, at least I was. Maybe you guys aren't, but I fucking was for sure. And that canceled out my morning putting myself first and my massage putting myself first because the rest of the time those are only what like maybe massages twice a week maybe so 2 hours a week plus like the 10 minutes in the morning. That's not a lot of time when you really do the math. I'm not great at math, but I know that's not a lot of time. So me then the rest of the day not putting myself first at all with my thoughts, that canceled out anything I did to put myself first. So what people do is again two things. They either go, they raw dog it, and they have no plan, and then they're worried about what other people are feeling, thinking, whatever, right? Or two, they go in with like this what they think and like in the spiritual matrix is self-love, and they just get more selfish versus self-love, right? Very selfish, like make it about me, 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 me. Like maybe someone just wants to yap about themselves for the whole 2 hours straight. That would probably be a more selfish thing because they're trying to fill a validation wound, right? So, okay, people will think, oh, I'm going to just express myself for 2 hours straight, even though there's 8 other people here. And I'm going to just yap their ears off for a straight 2 hours and not ask a thing about anyone else. That would be more of a selfish way of what people in the spiritual matrix would say. Oh, just put yourself first. See how that's different? You can put yourself first while also bringing up everyone else at the exact same time. And that is the source definition of self love. So, right now, I want everyone to comment a way where they have not been doing this, but they plan to implement this. The goal, the formula is to how do I choose to feel after this? And what do I need to bring up to get what I want while also giving other people what they also want in this conversation? The goal of prioritizing yourself is to be able to fill up your own gas tank so then you can take someone to the airport, right? So, for example, if my friend's like, hey, can you take me to the airport? I'm not going to be like, no, boundaries. Put myself first, right? It's going to be like one of two things. At this point in my day, because time's important to me, I'm like, no, but I'll buy you an Uber. So I'm, getting them an Uber. But before it would be, yes, I can. Let me just fill up my gas tank first. So, I can get you there. Because if I don't, we're going to end up on the side of the road because I'm going to be out of gas. Right. So you are putting yourself first, prioritizing yourself so you can show up 100% for other people. What the spiritual matrix will tell you that self love is boundaries, not doing anything for anyone. Goodbye. Cut your family off, cut your friends off, cut them all off. Go do what you want to do and fuck them, right? Like, fuck everybody. And that's just not the source definition. Our souls are here to serve each other. And it's where like the beliefs get a little convoluted. So like Christianity will say, don't put yourself first, put everyone else over you. And then spiritual stuff will say, fuck everyone else, put yourself first. The source truth is put yourself first so you can serve at 100%, right? It's kind of like bringing those two, the two aren't fully wrong, but they're missing pieces of each, right? It's kind of bringing those two together. That's like the actual source truth. So it's the formula is how can I put myself first with my thoughts in every situation, right? I did it here. I wanted to know what you guys were excited about because that was going to, I'm already 10 out of 10 excited to be here. That was going to make me like 12 out of 10 excited to be here, right? I gave myself an extra boost of excitement. And now I can even be more excited as I teach, right? And that you guys can get even a better, more excited version of me. So I put myself first to then elevate everyone else's experience in here and serve even better. If my friend asks me to take them to the airport, I'm not going to take them on an empty tank because they'll miss their fucking flight. We won't have gas. We'll run out of gas. We'll have to call AAA. AAA will have to come. They're missing their fucking flight because I didn't put myself first and get gas before I took them. But if I put myself first and get gas before I take them, well, now they're getting to the airport. Maybe they had to wait an extra 5 minutes for me to pick them up, but that extra 5 minutes was worth it because if they didn't wait that extra 5 minutes, it would have cost them an extra 2 hours and missing their flight because we would have ran out of gas on the side of the road. Make sense? So if someone is like, it also looks like if you are in the kitchen and you drop a glass and you're like, hey, partner, can you come help me clean up this glass? It would look like them or you as a partner going, oh yeah, be right there. Let me just put on shoes so I don't slice my fucking foot open, right? It wouldn't be you running over there with no shoes. It'd be, yes, I can. Let me just put on shoes first and do this for me so I don't slice my foot open. And then I'm going to come help you clean it up. So it's like little tiny ways of putting yourself first with your thoughts, but then to better show up and be the best version of you and bring everyone else up with you. So I asked a question earlier and you guys were answering in here as I was sharing those stories. Let's see here. Okay, let me try and find them before. You have so many couples intimacy conversations decks. Yes, it's the best to use those. My mother-in-law is staying with us for the summer and she doesn't take initiative and is so triggering to me. She'll do anything I ask, but I won't ask. I just expect her to do it. I want to start kindly asking for what would be supportive while she's staying with us. Yes. So, okay, that leads me to a communication thing with this. And I have been hyperfixated. We talked about hyperfixated. Your girl has been hyperfixated on communication tools for the past year of my life. I'm curious, actually, what are some of like the things you've heard outside of here, but like just around like maybe social media or whatever about communication? Like, what are some communication tools that you've heard of that aren't from here? I want to hear some. Nonviolent communications, I statements. You've got to kiss ass to get anywhere. I feel blank when blank. Probably like always speak your mind. Never say, never say you when talking about feelings. Good. We talk about that one a lot. I hate these two. They're the worst. I feel this way when you do this. And then the other one was always speak your mind. Here's my problem. Here's my problem with always speak your mind. Should we actually always speak our mind? Because is our mind, no, because is our mind mostly emotional or actually the truth when we're triggered? When we're triggered, are we emotional or is that the actual source truth? It's verbal diarrhea, literally. Literally. Yeah, we're emotional. Exactly. Exactly. If we speak our mind when we're emotional, the spiritual matrix will call it authenticity. Just be authentic. Say what you need. No. Literally, I'm telling myself, I'm like, no, bitch. Like, I'm like, literally, no. Literally, no. Because what will happen is you are 10 out of 10 going to say something that you fucking regret. And putting yourself first in communication, people don't like this one, but it's working the other person so that you get what you want out of the situation. If you diarrhea, word vomit, anger, or whatever your emotional thing is onto them, are you going to get what you want out of that situation? Literally, no. Literally, no. Now, Our emotions are valid. They are showing us something. They're showing us where we're out of alignment. They're showing us where we're doing something to ourselves. They are great for that. And they are showing us where we can work on this reflection. Step one out of this, I think my communication process is like 7 steps or something. Different than the 8 step one from the workshop. I think it's like 7 steps. I might add another one. But step one of that process is working that out within yourself, or like phoning a friend or phoning your healer or journaling or working out in your head, getting your emotions down, then finding the reflection, right? Once your emotions are down, and that's a different thing, and we get to the communication part of the formula. There's a whole formula before you can even get to the communication part, because you got to get your emotions down, because you don't want to fucking project, or else you won't get what you want. Once you get to the communication part of the formula, step one of the formula is, how do I want this conversation to go? Do you want to get what you want out of this conversation? If the answer is yes, you are not going to say you. The second you say you're this, you that, you did this, when you said this, I felt this way, you've lost the other person. Their energetic spikes have gone up, and they have spiky energy now. And now they're on defense. Who's felt spiky energy from people before? Their heart, I see it happen. It energetically, a wall goes up and then little spikes come out like little daggers. And anything you say from there, not happening. You're not going to get what you want. So prioritizing yourself with communication is realizing, okay, I have a problem with my partner right now. They're not taking me on dates. Am I going to bring it up when they come home from work and they're tired in the name of speak your truth? Or am I going to bring it up maybe tomorrow morning when it's Saturday and they have a whole day of rest ahead of them and they're happy about it? Which one are you going to get the better answer from? When they're happy on a Saturday morning, right? Now, again, the spiritual matrix will tell you that's not putting yourself first. That's holding yourself back. No, it's not, because putting yourself first is getting what you want out of a situation. Are you going to get what you want out of a situation when the person's tired, mad at work, it's a late Friday night, they've worked all week, they have a problem with their job, their boss is annoying, whatever their problem is? Or are you going to get what you want when they're happy the next morning because they have a long day in the sun ahead of them because it's a Saturday or whatever it is? You're going to get what you want the next day. So the whole express yourself, like right the fuck away. Yes, express yourself. But after going through the whole formula to get the emotions down, figure out the reflection, then going through the communication formula, then we express ourselves. That's where we have it wrong. All about expressing yourself. I'm like, sign me up for some self-expression. It's what we do at the retreats and everything like that. But it's a whole process of figure out the reflection, get your emotions down, then ignite the communication formula where you express yourself. That's where people go wrong. And what also happens is when we communicate with stuff around boundaries. Tell me what you do right now with boundaries. I want to hear how you communicate boundaries, even if you don't communicate them. What do you do with boundaries? I want to hear. Not dot dot dot. Don't communicate, just act. I get triggered when my friends have boundaries for me. Good. Probably because they're not expressing it in the most like source line way. Withdraw. It builds up and I blow up. If something feels off, I stay away or say no. Ghost. That used to be me. I express and withdraw. Terrible with boundaries. Great. Okay, perfect. If there was a dictionary and it said bad at boundaries, my face would have been on it for a long time. Like, he said my reflections had reflections, my boundaries had problems with boundaries. My problems with boundaries had problems with boundaries. So I get it. That's why I've been so hyper fixated on this for so long, because you hear two ends of the spectrum. You hear, we're told to shut up, be quiet, don't say anything. Then we're told to just like express and say your boundaries, but it's like really unhinged? And who here has given you a boundary and it just feels off? You're like, right? Right, Anna? Yeah, same. Like you want to express it, or you're happy at that, or sorry, what am I trying to say? English. You want to respect their boundary, but you don't like the way they're saying it. You're like, I don't like that. Right. You get triggered, it feels selfish. Totally. Oh, it makes me, oh, that like rage on the inside, you just like literally could just punch a hole through a wall. That's how I feel when someone has like a boundary, but it's like expressed in this like way that's not actually from their neutral emotions. It's expressed from like this anger that they haven't dealt with. Like they're better than you. Yeah. Ew. Literally, ew. They'll get like the spiritual ego kind of thing. Like, I had this boundary and I'm just not gonna let myself be in this toxic energy anymore. That's like it's like the spiritual ego boundary. Oh, yeah, no, it makes me also want to barf and I'm like, oh, I hate it so much. So then what happens if you're anything like me, what happened was I don't like that way of expressing boundaries. That sounds like egotistical and weird. Like I'm not fucking, Jesus Christ walking around here, and Jesus would not be expressing boundaries like that even if he was here. Well, his soul's back, but even if Jesus in that body was back. Or you also don't want to like hold it in and be this little like angry rat in the corner because you haven't expressed what you need, right? So it's like, what the fuck do I do? I don't want to be an angry rat in the corner. I don't want to be a girl with a stick up her ass. So it's like, how do I do this? So we cannot be angry rats in the corner. So I just like picture myself like an angry rat in the corner if I'm not expressing myself. Um, well, that's another rabbit hole to go down, but yes. Anyway, so you guys are so fun in the comments. I got to stop reading them or else I get distracted. So there's like one extreme over here, one extreme over here. And I would always have the biggest problem of like, how do I not get asthma and a sore throat from holding in my expression, but also not be this like person who has like this spiritual ego with a stick up her ass? You know what I mean? Like, how do I do that? So number one is you want to, you, you want to express things in a way where you're not saying you. Two, you are making it like a fun, empowering thing. And before any of that, you want to get your creator field right. Our creator field, if you've never heard me talk about it, real quick little explanation on what a creator field is. In science terms, it's a electromagnetic field. And what it is it's this thing that radiates off of you. And it basically tells other people how to be toward you. How you program that script of how you tell other people to be toward you is the thoughts you think about yourself and the beliefs you have and how you're being towards yourself and the actions you're taking. However, you're being toward yourself, the actions you're taking, the thoughts you think, the beliefs you believe, that writes the script of your creator field. That script then goes out to everyone and you shape matter with it. You shape all people, places, situations, and circumstance with it. They will act out that script back to you. So, step one, if people are not respecting your boundaries, what in your creator field is making that happen? For example, this is a recent example. People like to yap my ear off. I like go and I pay for a service, whether it's a massage or whatever it is, any service I'm like going to pay for. I won't say all of them because I'm not going to just out everyone of the services I go to. But all the service I go to pay for to like relax or have fun or like, you know, just like do my thing. Yap, 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 yap. I mean, I hear people's life story. And not that I'm mad about it. If we were at dinner, I would love it. But, at a massage, you just don't want to talk, You don't want to talk at a massage. So anyway, this was happening to me a lot. And I was even on the phone with CEO Sarah the other day. I was like, I gotta fucking figure out this reflection because I am tired. It's only 9 a.m. and I've gotten yapped to 3 times today so far based on all my appointments this morning. And I haven't even started the day yet. And so what I realized was one thing I will not do is go in there and say, I just want to be quiet today. Like, I just need us to be quiet today. That, are people gonna feel good about that? No. Are they gonna do as good of a job doing their service on me? No. And I don't want anyone to feel bad. You know, it's my own thing. It's my own creator field problem. So I'm not gonna make someone else feel bad for my own creator field problem. So I'm gonna first, number one, I'm gonna solve my creator field problem, which I did as of this morning because I was like, I gotta figure this out. So I figured it out and I solved that problem. And then once I saw the creator field problem, now I'm going to be a match for an even better communication idea to come in, which could look like me walking into a massage and be like, oh my gosh, your massage is so good that like I just need to like be in a meditation and like really enjoy it because you're so fucking good at what you do. Easy. No one feels bad. They feel empowered. I also get what I want, right? It's not going, I just like to be quiet today. People are instantly going to internalize it. My I want my reputation to be good, right? We all do. We're humans. That's a very human physical thing to want. If I'm going around and saying, I just want to be quiet today, people are not going to probably, they're not going to feel very good around me. And I don't want to skip any chance of maybe I have a soul contract with someone who maybe needs to hear the podcast or who maybe needs to hear something, or maybe I need something from them. I don't know. But I don't want to miss out on that because they felt uncomfortable because I didn't know how to properly communicate and look at my own reflection. So once I look at my own reflection, you're no longer mad at the person because you're like, oh my God, you're my greatest teacher right now because you're showing me where I'm being this way to myself and you're actually helping me greatly. But long story short, right? Then you have that. Then you can better think of just a way to communicate and with them feeling empowered. So, how can you make them feel empowered while also getting what you want? Let's practice in here. What situation comes up where you want to maybe have a boundary, but how can you make someone feel empowered? Practice in the comments and we can tweak some. I'll pick a few and we can make them better. We can be like, that's great. Write those in. And then another example of this. So, again, communication with self-love is not saying I'm setting a boundary. That other person is automatically on defense and they just no longer feel comfy around you. And they just feel like now they're going to walk on eggshells. Vice versa. If someone says that to you, we talked about this, like you don't, you're like, ew, why are we doing this? But for example, if, here's where you really don't do this in relationships. Let's say someone's in your let's say your boyfriend or your partner is calling you crazy, right? You're crazy because you're crying. Okay. Step one, what's step one of that? Figure out the reflection. Guarantee you probably aren't crazy. So that would be a reflection of accusing you of something you're not. So, like we talked about in the glow formula, that's an accusation reflection. Where are you accusing yourself of something you're not? Not you accusing yourself of being crazy, but you're accusing yourself of something you're not. Maybe you're not seeing how powerful you are with making money. Maybe you're not seeing how good you are at what you do. Maybe you're not seeing how beautiful you are and you think you're having body dysmorphia. Whatever it is, where are you accusing yourself of something you're not? Then what you do is you go in and instead of saying, I have a boundary, you can't talk to me like that. Are they going to take you seriously? How many times have you said that to someone and they don't listen? Doesn't work. Who here has that ever worked for? Long term. Instead, you could be like, I know we are both capable of so much better communication than what we're doing right now. Even though you have to take one for the team, even though you didn't call anyone crazy, or you didn't call anyone names, our ego wants to be like, you did this. Just throw yourself in there. Just say we. You'll get what you want. Because if you say you, their spikes come out. And that's not a lie. Like there's always room to be better at communication, right? I know we are both capable of so much better communication than what we're doing right now. I have a great idea. Let's find a communication tool we can both integrate and practice that works for the both of us. And it's going to make us so much better. And get really excited about it. And always say we, never say you. The second you say you, what happens? Their heart spikes and daggers come out and you've lost them, you're no longer getting what you want. So I want you, there's a lot of other communication, self-love tools and putting yourself first communication, but start here and practice these and just take one thing and integrate it, right? Don't get overwhelmed by a bunch of different things. Take one thing, integrate it into your everyday. Like the example I gave at the other podcast though was menopause. Like women are manipulated to basically get menopause. Like we're not supposed to get menopause. It's just a reflection. Yeah, yeah, wild. Menopause is simply a reflection. And it's because women are literally, oh my God, I said this to Sarah the other day. The beauty industry, the this is wild. The beauty industry has made, I think, 26 billionaires, which tells me everyone banks off of women's insecurities, but not in a way where they're permanently fixing them, in a way where they are covering them up and then going to need more and more and more to cover them up, right? It's not like they're investing to heal something. They're investing to cover it up. And then they're going to have to, that product's going to run out. Then they're going to have to invest in the next one and the next one and the next one and the next one. And then it only gets worse from there. You get Botox once, now you want filler, now you want this, that, the other. It just keeps piling on. Anyway, so that's where women are mass manipulated that we don't realize. And what happens is we get manipulated, and menopause is just a physical reflection of the emotional root cause, which is I feel like I'm useless as I get older. I feel like I'm no longer as hot enough. I'm no longer as good enough. I'm useless now. I'm not what I once was. I'm not what I once was. Those are the feelings that make women go into menopause. So anyway, we're going to go on a whole rabbit hole too of like a whole workshop of how we're getting manipulated. We don't even know it and how to not, not do that. So that'll be fun, but let's see here. I'm going to just go pick a few little things to answer. Oh, okay, here we go. Being fully present in this this is a boundary setting practice. So being fully present in this conversation is so important to me that I am going to take 10 minutes to reset from the day so I can truly listen to you. That is gold. That's great. So good. Perfect. Love it. That copy and paste that one into your notes, everybody. Super good. That, yeah, because you could either say that or, right, the way you don't want to say it is I need space. I just need space right now, right? That, daggers come out of me. Justin's done that one before. I just need space. I'm like, hell you do. Well, definitely, I'm not giving you space now. I'm going to sit in your office and keep yelling at you. Like when someone says that, you just don't want to respect it. But if someone says that, I'm like, oh my God, totally. Of course. Of course you can take 10 minutes and reset. That'd be great for me too, right? And then everyone's happy. You put yourself first, but the other person's also happy. There's a really cool way to set boundaries, and that was a great example. I'm not looking for your permission, but I'd love to have your support because that means the world to me. Okay, the second half of that, so fucking good. What could be the disconnect for the other person if we're saying, I'm not looking for your permission? What could that trigger maybe in them? Anyone can let me know. I'm triggered by permission. Yep. What else could that kind of do to them? Control. Your opinion doesn't matter. Good. Your opinion doesn't matter. Not that that's what you're saying, but that's how someone could take it. I like to be 5 steps ahead of the other person. How is this person going to take this? And again, people will think, no, don't care about other people. No, you're putting yourself first by thinking about that so you can express something in a way that you are literally going to get what you want. You want to find the genius in what the person's saying. You never want to shut down someone's idea, ever. I don't care if it's the dumbest fucking shit you've ever heard. Find the genius behind it. Like, what's their intention behind it? And pull that out and use that part. And then there's a formula, and then we add on another part. But don't even worry about doing that yet, but just start to like to yourself in your own head don't say anything yet, but just what's the genius in this? And just start practicing that part for now. Let's see here. What do you do when your partner's not intuitive? but you're trying to explain no to your partner because intuitively you don't feel it's right. Honestly, here's where people also get it wrong in the spiritual world, and this is off topic, but who cares? We're going down a rabbit hole of this. So what people do is they think they need a spiritual partner. Honestly, you don't want to like there's so many pros to not having a spiritual partner because you then have full creator field control and they have no idea what a reflection means. So they can't, so if you have a problem and you go to them with a problem, they won't say, well, that's just a reflection, isn't it? Because that is triggering when they say that back. And then if they're intuitive, then you're going to end up fighting over whose intuition's right versus if you have different answers for something. It's not a fun I would there's pros and cons, and that would be a pro of not having a partner who's intuitive. So, one, we here's my thing. If someone is treating you right and well and a good man or a woman and they do their inner work, like just inner work of just like it doesn't have to be spiritual. It could just be like taking responsibility for their actions or whatever it is. You've got a good one. There's a lot of people, men, women in the spiritual world who just because they're spiritual in the men's and women's courses does not mean they're practicing what they're preaching. Um, I knew a person who was dating a guy who was in a men's program that Justin was also in. And she was dating the guy and he cheated on her with like all these people and was doing all this stuff behind her back while simultaneously in this program. Just because someone's doing that does not mean they're like, that you should go be with them. So, um, back to my answering your question. What do you do when your partner is not intuitive, but you're trying to explain no to your partner because intuitively you just don't feel it's right? I don't know exactly what situation this is, but if it is a situation where it's like, oh, I want to go to this place for dinner tonight. My thing is, I'm assuming you're more in a feminine role. My thing is just let them. If it's like a small thing, like if it's not a big deal, like dinner or like what we're eating, or if it's a bigger deal, like moving and you don't really want to like fuck around with moving, be like, ah, great idea. Again, find the genius. I'd love to put our heads together to find something that feels perfect for the both of us. Never tell someone their intuition's wrong, even if it is, and they're being emotional and they think it's their intuition. Always find the genius, and then there's a process, but start by just finding the genius. What's the kosher way to tell someone that they're having a reflection? Never. You never tell someone they're having a reflection. Nope. I've been doing this work 10 years. And even if Justin were to tell me, well, that's a reflection, oh, the daggers would come out, even though I know it's a reflection. Not good communication skills. Just the other person. Imagine if you're upset, you're expressing, and then your partner's like, well, that's a reflection. What do you want to, what's your reaction going to be? You're not going to like it. So I wouldn't say anything about it at all, that it's a reflection. I would look at your own reflection of them dumping their reflection onto you. Oh shit, not me and my partner also been like, that's a reflection. I mean, if you're doing it in a funny way, like my guy friend Nikki today texted us like, hey, I can't come to family dinner tomorrow night. Like I'm sick. And I was being funny. I was like, look at your reflection, LOL. But it wasn't like actually it was funny. It's one thing if you're joking with your partner about it, but I wouldn't do it in like a serious actual setting where you're like, look at your reflection, because if they're having a reflection and they're projecting it onto you, you're now having a reflection. So look at why you're a match for them to project their shit onto you, right? And look at your own stuff. I'm all about looking at your own stuff. Well, also you need the human side of communicating, but the source way of communicating. So everyone's happy and gets what they want. Okay, really good impromptu, fun workshop today, everyone. Thank you for coming and joining me and spending part of your day with me. I really appreciate it. You guys are so incredible, so good, so elite, and I mean, way quicker at this than I ever was. So I'm really excited for you. Thank you guys. DM me, let me know how you liked it. I love to hear feedback, love to hear your like fun realizations from it. So we'll be keeping an eye out for those too. Bye everyone. I'll see you guys soon.